Right guys, so first things first, squats, right, we're going over squats lots of times, right, but I think it's worthwhile going over them right at the very start again for the benefit of everyone, okay. So one of the main themes of the first few weeks, okay, is going to be tempo. And what I mean by tempo is tempo, the time it takes you to perform the movements, right. So the focus, especially if you're new, you may have come from a background of classes where it's all about high paced, high tempo. The focus on the first few weeks is to slow the tempo down to really master and control the movements, okay. The reason we do this is because it means that you start to think about the movement more, you start to become aware of how you're moving through the movement, you start to become aware, and it gives you a bit more time to think about where the weight distribution is happening through the body when you do, for example, squats. Is it going through the toes? Is it going through the knees? Is it going through the heels? Is it where are you feeling it? It also gives you the chance to make sure that you are controlling your body as one unit, okay. And the benefit as well is that it means your muscles are going to are working much harder than they would be if you were just going up and down and relying on momentum, okay. And this will stand you in really good stead when you start using the weights, when you start putting weights in your back or doing various other sort of weighted based exercises. So it's really important that you really fine tune the movement and feel as though you're in complete control of the movement, which is where tempo comes in. Muscle growth happens as well when you control the tempo, and you can really feel the difference it's making. So at the same time, your tendons and ligaments will really benefit from slow controlled movements. So although your muscles might get a good stimulus from just explosive movements all the time, sometimes slowing it down is the best way for the tendons and the ligaments to adapt as well. Okay, so that is what we're going to think about when you're doing your squats. So a few things to consider. Obviously not everyone's going to squat the same, in fact hardly anyone's going to squat the same, but there is a few universal rules that I think we should all try and follow, okay. The first one, for talking's sake, would probably be to make sure that your feet are just wider than shoulder width, okay. And you can open your feet out maybe 1 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock position, maybe 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock is also fine, okay. And the main thing we want to think about when you squat is to make sure you keep the weight evenly distributed through your heels and the balls of your feet, okay. It's all too common. People say they get sore knees when they squat, and a lot of the time the reason they get sore knees when they squat is because it's very quad dominant like this, or they lead with their knees and they try to keep their hips don't come back, and they sort of squat like this, okay. Their knees go way past their toes, with all the pressure going through the knees and the quads. So that is why a lot of times people say that squats hurt their knees. It's not so much that the squat movement itself, it's an incorrect squat movement. So it's really important that you know or learn very quickly that you need to keep the weight going through the heels and the ball of the foot as well as the small toe. So try and think of your foot as a tripod, okay, with 3 points of support that's going to make you perform the movement correctly. The heel, the ball of the foot, and the small sort of toe area, okay. So when you squat down, instead of leading with your knees like that, okay, I want you to think about hinging your hips back, okay, like so. So you'll push your hips back. As you push your hips back, simultaneously your knees will start to bend, okay. But the really key point here is that you need to make sure that as you go down, you gradually push your hips back, okay. And as you do that, you should find it's easier to keep the weight going through the heel and the ball of the foot, okay, simultaneously, right? So when you squat, as I said, don't squat knee first, come down and push your hips back, your torso will come forward slightly, and then from there you can start to come down, okay? In terms of depth, everyone's depth will be different, but eventually we would like, a good goal is to get your hips just below the knee if possible, okay? There's no point going all the way to the bottom if your lower back starts to curve in the way too much, okay, if you start to really round. So the only go as low as your current range of movement will allow, okay? This is actually the first time I've squatted in months because of a calf tear, so it's quite nice to not feel pain. Anyway, so that's the main thing to think about when you squat. We want the hips to go back, okay, as the knees also bend to keep the weight, because if you bring the hips back, it means the weight goes through the posterior, i.e. the glutes, the hamstrings, the back muscles, as opposed to the quads, okay. Another thing I want to think about is that when you come down, you need to make sure that not only do your knees not go forward, that they don't come in the way, okay. So Again, this can happen for a number of reasons, but if you're trying to get down really low, right, and you're forcing it, what might happen is your body will find a compensation to get lower and lower. And quite a common compensation is that the knees will cave in, right? So there's no point going dead low in your squat. It's the only reason you're managed to get that low is because your knees are caving in, okay? So you need to be able to keep the sort of knees in line with the feet and make sure that the weight stays to the heel and the ball of the foot, okay? So there's various reasons why that might be, okay? We're not going to get into that in this video. I just want you to be aware that you're aiming to go as low as you comfortably can while maintaining a nice knee alignment with regards to the foot and while keeping a nice strong back position. So that's not a strong back position, neither is that, okay? So the hips go back and that's the position that we're looking for at the bottom. When you're in this position, you should feel as though the weight isn't caving to your instep too much, okay? So that's the main principles of the squat that we'll be looking for. We'll go over breathing later. Don't want to bombard you with too long a video, right?